Rows over parking fines in Milan have led to questions from the Chinese government. The northern Italian city has a large Chinese community, mostly engaged in small businesses around the Via Sapi, where a new law on out-of-hours deliveries and a clampdown on illegal parking sparked resentment, then Italy's first major ethnic riot. Beijing is taking a keen interest in the authorities' zero-tolerance policy and its impact on Milan's 13,000 or so Chinese residents.
Patrizia Quattrone grew up in Milan's Chinatown and says Chinese immigrants have been a part of the Via Paolo Sarpi as long as she can remember. But now that increasing numbers of Chinese wholesalers have moved in, she no longer recognizes her own neighborhood.
There were fruit and vegetable shops, hairdressers, gourmet shops and ladies' boutiques. There was a bakery here and a greengrocer. There were no wholesale dealers.
Until a few years ago, many Milan residents came to the centrally located district to do their shopping. Now only 1 in 10 shops is owned by Italians. Locals say Chinese merchants make their life more difficult.
We have to go around them, but I just stand up to them with my children. I refuse to be pushed aside.
For many years, police turned a blind eye when distributors' delivery vehicles blocked traffic. But after residents complained, the police began to crack down. When the authorities impounded one Chinese woman's car because it was illegally parked, riots broke out. The Chinese immigrants protested, saying they were being harassed by police. Biman Wu is the son of a wholesale dealer and one of the few here in the community who speaks Italian. He showed us a friend's video of street clashes between hundreds of Chinese youth and police. In the course of the rioting, 14 police officers and 5 Chinese demonstrators were taken to the hospital for treatment. The Chinese protesters also accused the police of being racist.
Now they want to force all of us out, even though they've already given us distributors' licenses. We've invested 10 years of work and a lot of money in our business.
Wu's family came from southern China, and their family business is primarily a warehouse. The distributors supply clothing made in China to retailers and markets in Italy and other European countries. But the business also clogs traffic in the narrow streets. 95% of the area's residents are Italians. Many are fed up and are demanding an end to the wholesale business. Many of the immigrants are here illegally, and some are suspected of being involved in criminal activities. In one incident, Chinese gang members shot dead 2 Chinese youths in broad daylight. The police believe it was an act of revenge between rival youth gangs.
This never used to happen. You used to be able to walk the streets safely, even at night.
I'm not a racist, but send them back to China where the laws are tougher.
But many immigrants who are in Italy legally say they're being treated unfairly. They're demanding an end to discrimination, saying they're Milanese as well.
The city is negotiating with our consulate. Not all Italians are bad. Most of them are nice to us.
City officials say gang violence and the traffic problems related to wholesale dealers are 2 separate issues. The authorities are considering traffic restrictions and say the distributors could move to outlying industrial parks, but many wholesalers are against the idea. Biman Wu says he can't understand the Italians' concern that the Chinese could drive them from their neighborhood.
We don't want to take over the neighborhood. We Chinese feel comfortable here. That's why we want to live and work here.
Local resident Patrizia says she's not against immigrants, but increasingly feels she's an outsider. She doesn't like it when shops only advertise their offers in Chinese. She asks why the signs aren't in Italian too, but the owner, who speaks only a few words of the language, doesn't understand her. Patrizia says her main concern is the traffic chaos in the city's streets. She thinks crime is worse in other parts of Milan.
We don't want to drive out the Chinese, but we want the wholesale dealers to relocate to industrial areas because the current situation can't continue.
Patrizia hopes city authorities will remain firm and force the distributors to set up their warehouses elsewhere. She says she loves her neighborhood and doesn't want to move.